What's going on there, YouTube? Kind of in between projects right now. The number 2 Ratrod back there is not quite finished. It's not running yet. But I don't know. I'm just kind of in a rut. I hate doing electronics. I hate the wiring. So I was kind of moving on, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And I've got some products here I want to talk to you about and show you how they go together. Alright, so what we're looking at here, this is the Yoda 1 axle from RC4wd drive. I'm just kind of mocking up this this body here in the background. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to build this one next, but I got these, they're RC4wd drive 1.9 Mickey Thompson, and I've been wanting these for a while. I got them from RC Customs on Facebook. He had some that he'd been tinkering with for a while and never used, so we made a deal. Got them in yesterday, and they're pretty nice. They're very retro, which is why I got them. And the way they go together is actually really perfect for this type situation. So this body is pretty wide. This body I got from Nightcrawlers 3D. This 2-door sedan, or Vicky, whatever you want to call it. When we designed this, and he had the design, and I gave him measurements based off of my original Ratrod back there in the background. So it's a little bit bigger than the number 2, a little bit wider, and it needs wheel wideners for this Yoda axle to work. So the way this wheel is, you can see there's just holes in the middle, and you have a hub. Now the cool thing about the hub, I don't have one that's not on anything at the moment, is you've got your 12mm hex on one side, and you can flip it around and you have this end, this round side, which I'm hoping I can find a bearing to fit. And that way on the fronts I can just, since I use these semi-truck axles, I can just flip the hub around, throw a ball bearing in it, and bam, mount it right to the semi-truck drop axle. So I haven't tested that yet, so don't hold me to it, but it looks like that might work. So yeah, like I said, I needed to widen this rear axle. So I've got these. This is from Boom Racing. They're 14mm wideners, sorry. I bought these a while ago. I bought some wheels from them. I ended up not using them. I sold. And the wheel set that I bought, it was some of their crate wheels, K-R-A-I-T, Snake. Those came with wideners, and I bought extra wideners just for something like this that I might run across in the future. So I already have this side mounted up without it, and I went ahead and mounted the spacer in on this side, and I'll show you how those kind of go together. So I went ahead and swapped the tire over to the other side. So this is what you got. You've got your output shaft and your pin. This is the widener, and on one end it is smoothing around, the other end it has your slot for the pin. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. It has little tiny set screws. I'm going to go ahead and put some of those in. You should probably Loctite this, but like I said, I don't have anything set in stone for this build just yet, so I'm just mocking it up. Let's see if I flip it around. Well, that didn't work. Flip it around here and do the other side. Get it nice and tight. Alright, so now that's on. The next step is going to be the center hub for the wheel, and it just sits on there like that. Now there are other locks or spots here for set screws. I'm probably doing this all wrong. I don't know. Seems like this is the most logical way for me. We'll just have to see. And this comes with a variety of spacers and shims. Let me bring you around here and show you what you actually get. So it comes with all these little screws. You get washers and lock nuts. I'm only going to use the lock nut because that's what I did on the other side. This is your new nut for your hub, and that threads down over your output shaft on your axle, and you put a lock washer around it, not a lock nut, my bad, and crank it down and it tightens everything together. Hopefully it won't come off. And then we'll mount the wheel on from the outside. So I got my lock washer, I keep calling it lock nut. You slide that in there, and that's still your standard 7mm size, like your standard lug nuts, hub nut, whatever you want to call it. And you just crank that down in there and make sure it's nice and snug. Now we're on. So now I just take my other wheel, and I'm only going to put a couple screws in it for now. These take the RC4 drive adapter. Ooh, let me zoom you out. The scale bolt. So I've got a little adapter here on my, what's that, 2mm, 2.5. And I'm just going to try to line up a couple of these just to get it rolling so we can see if it's going to be wide enough. I was hoping to do a little bit less of the Wideners, but I didn't save the 7mm ones I had. So I'll have these 14s. Hoping it comes out pretty good as far as width for this body. But the way these wheels go together just work perfect with this. Now these slicks here, these Goodyear slicks, I got from Justin Davis. I found them on eBay later. You can buy them in bulk. You can buy like 100 at a time. It's ridiculous how many they have. They're apparently from a 1/8 scale model, and they do fit a 1/9 tire or wheel very well, but they don't have quite the lip on the inside like your standard bead-locks have here. So it is a little tricky. It took me 3 or 4 tries on the first one to get the bead to actually lock onto these RC4 drive wheels. But I got it, and they're on. It's just a little tedious, so if something you end up trying, be patient. So let me clean up some of this mess. I've got little hardware laying everywhere, and we'll see if this is wide enough. Alright guys, so you can see that's actually the perfect width. Gives me just a few millimeters on either side of the body. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be able to use those on the front, because like I talked about, the hub on the wheel I can flip around. So the 12mm Wideners obviously won't work when you're running on a ball bearing. So we'll have to do some experimenting with that. I really wish I had some wider front axles, but there's just nothing out there. Have to do like cyanide tube and try to make my own maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if this build's going to be the next in the line, the number 3. And we still got to wrap up number 2. But yeah, I just wanted to show you all these wheels and some products and stuff. I'm waiting on some more bodies. I've got this 2-door sedan body, and I've got another chopped truck cab coming. I've got my T-bucket, which I got from Richard Cook. That came in earlier this week. And then I've got my 5-window coupe that I'm waiting on from Shapeways. It's not supposed to ship until the 10th or 11th, I think. And that one I'm really, really excited about. I'm hoping it's not too big. I tried to adjust the scale a little bit when I ordered it. So, anywho. Yep, I appreciate you guys watching. And, yeah. Oh, I did want to show you one more thing real quick. Here's a current look at the back of the old number 2 build. My rust methods are working. The inside of the bed is rusted where it ran down. Frame rails, even the copper fuel tank is starting to get that green. Still kind of splotchy, but may have to apply some more here before too long. But it's looking a lot better. It's looking a lot more scale. My little brackets here to hold my airbag mount are rusted up nice. Those rusted up quick. Those things were like, I came back in, went to the kitchen to get a drink, came back and they were rusted. So that metal was very susceptible to rust. Same story on the front end. It's looking a little more rusty. Let me bring you around and show you the grill. See here, it's got a little bit the frame rails. For some reason the front end of the frame rails isn't taking the rust as well. I don't know if it's just running off the angle it's setting at. I've got a few spots in the grill, so it's starting to come together. I've still got a little bit more piping to do here on the intake. I need to bring a pipe from the turbo up here to the intake. I'm probably going to have to reshape the head on that a little bit. But that's this or another video later. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching, and if you haven't seen it yet, the #1 is in the March issue of RC Car Action. It's a reader's ride of the month. I was pretty excited about that. Big thanks to those guys for, I guess, picking me. It's something that's pretty cool. I've always, I've grown up reading RC Car Action, so to be in it is pretty neat for me. This year, I'd like to try and get a full feature with one of my builds in a RC magazine. So you always got to keep goals, got to keep moving forward, and keep building. But I appreciate it, guys. Y'all stay tuned for more, and I will see y'all in the next video.